What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be showing you the analytics dashboard that I've just created that helps me visualize my Smartlead data and also work on my lead gen agency tasks, right? And so we've got a bunch of things going on over here. We're checking for the transferred leads. And by the way, there's a lot of filters going on, so you're not actually able to see everything comprehensively, but this is the gist of what it looks like, right? And so we're able to check the email sent per client and all sorts of things. So let me go through each and every single component and explain how this works. So the first section over here is basically a timeline view of every single positive reply by the date that they replied. And to set this up is super simple. We basically need a sales funnel inside our ClickUp account. And so this sales funnel is going to have a start date for every single lead. And when we add these leads, the moment they respond inside Smartlead. And so you can simply set up a webhook for something like that. And by the way, I just released a brand new video. It was actually a 6-hour live stream building out this dashboard. And so if you want all of the details, just check out this live stream. It's going to go into all of the details, right? And so we've got the start date and all of that. And so we've basically grabbed all of this data, and inside the dashboard, we're able to visualize it using a timeline view. And so that's all this is. And by the way, we're able to see this across all of our clients. And so this is the most important dashboard. I want to just see like we're getting positive replies, and I want to see that we're getting them consistently across all of our clients. So this is the first thing that I look at. The next thing I look at is the campaign tasks. And so if it's empty for a client, so as you can see, these ones are empty, that means we don't need to worry about creating any campaigns. If there's a campaign over here, for example, that means we actually need to spend some time creating a campaign. And so in this particular case, we've got to create this campaign over here. And the campaign process, this is what it looks like. And so we've got a comprehensive campaign creation process. At the end of this, we add the campaigns over to Smartlead. So we don't actually create campaigns here. We create them inside our project management tool and then add them after the subject lines have been created, the different email variations have been created, the clay tables have been created. So it simply systemizes everything. But in each of these different steps, we're using automations. And so if I were to, for example, choose a campaign playbook, so one of these Apollo playbooks, for example, this is going to generate the copy. And by the way, this is what a playbook looks like. A playbook is simply just like a description of what it looks like. So we put an email example, and then we output a playbook, and then we have a clay table for that acts as a template, right? So that's what the campaign playbook is, and that's how we are able to create tons and tons and tons of campaigns like extremely quickly. And so on my day-to-day, right, I've got a dashboard over here, and this dashboard is going to tell me when I need to create new campaigns. And by the way, throughout the onboarding process, we get 6 brand new campaigns that we got to create, and then on a weekly basis, we get a brand new campaign that we got to create. And so this is usually going to come one like we're going to get new ones that come up. And then over here, we get to see the overdue tasks. And so these are going to have different tags that are automated. And so anytime the due date is overdue, we add a tag to keep track of that. And we do the same thing, by the way. So the tag for the domain tasks, the communication tasks, and so on and so forth. And the next thing we do is we check for the leads inside campaign to see if it's less than 500. And so, for example, in this campaign over here, we're able to see that the not started is 0. Therefore, we know that we should be adding campaigns. And we've got filters over here to check for specific types of campaigns. So they need to be in the drafted status, or they need to be in the active status. And so if a campaign is active or it's in drafted, but we've got no leads, then that's a sign that we should actually spend some time adding leads. And then we also have this information status, which simply lets us know that there's no active/drafted campaigns for a specific client. And so if we have a client in our database, but there's no campaigns, we want to get notified for that so that we can create campaigns and then add the leads. And so that's what this is essentially, right? And so if you're getting the idea, right? I wake up, the first thing I do, I come here, this is the first thing I want to see. What are the positive replies looking like? What are the trends of those positive replies? And then I want to see whether I have any campaigns to create. Once I've determined that, I need to determine whether I have any lead lists to build. And then once I've determined that, I have to determine whether I need to set up any domains or improve anything from that perspective. And so, for example, we've got this one right here, which requires me to add this to the admin console. And so this is overdue. We need to add these to the admin console. And our domain setup process is mostly automated as well. And so if we were to go to the campaign section over here, navigate to the domain section, a lot of the things inside our domain setup process are also automated. And so like adding the DKIM to ClickUp, for example, when we paste it here, it instantly has an automation that adds the DKIM, open tracking, SPF records, all of that stuff into our GoDaddy account. Alongside that, we do have options, right? And so, for example, if we were to click on this domain over here, we're able to see that I've got custom fields such as the domain platform. And so currently we're using Microsoft and Google, but there's some inboxes that I leverage mail forward for. I use Mo, I use F60 host, although since anyways, I use different resellers, and so those different resellers are going to have different SOPs for setting things up. And so we've set it up to be dynamic and work with across all of those people. And so all I need to know is that, all right, we've got all of these domains, and then I can clearly see like who needs my attention. And then by the way, anytime leads anytime leads get disconnected from specific domains, we're able to make this go red, right? And so right here, the domains deactivated. This is a client that we were working with that they churned essentially, right? And so I should actually just hide the column because we don't need this. And so they're no longer working with us. And so we still have these domains, right? Because we purchased them on a yearly basis, but they're deactivated and no longer inside our Smartlead account. And so we want to still keep track of that fact. And so that's what this analytics is. And then communication. So communication tasks. This one allows us to communicate with clients seamlessly. And so over here, we're able to see that I've already sent the email to the client, and then I've got two emails that I need to do, right? One is overdue, another one is this. And basically, what this allows me to do, so if we were to navigate over to the client com section, it allows me to create emails that are unique to the specific client with regards to whatever the thing is. And so, for example, if we wanted to create a weekly report, this is what it would look like. And in fact, let me show you. So this is what a bi-weekly report looks like, right? So this is what we send over to the client. We've generated this and we've got a description, right? So this was a report that we sent to the client on day one, the first day that we got a lead. And it includes key information like the prospects contacted, replied, engaged, count, all of these different things, right? And so the way that we've revamped uh, our communication process is client comms. And so this right here, we saw a positive reply come through. This would actually be this over here, right? And then this Loom video would actually be in this section over here. And then we've got the recipients, which are added from the client section. And then we've got a due date. And so whenever this comes in, we get a ChatGPT assisted draft, and then we simply modify it. We move it through the statuses. So the first status is to do, and then we send a test email to ourselves, and then finally we send an email to the client. And I did this process earlier today, and it was amazing. Like it's so seamless. Like it's amazing. I love it. And so, but because of the way that it's structured, we need to be able to see like the ones that are overdue, the ones that are still in progress, and then we can easily send, know which ones to prioritize and that type of thing, right? And obviously, if we were to have a team that needs to create those looms, like we can track all of that stuff. And then agency playbooks, right? So I created this agency playbook thing, and I've not given up on it because I still think like this is going to be the key that allows me to hit my milestones. The ability to create high quality campaigns extremely quickly is going to come in really, really handy. And so that's going to be with the playbooks. But I've noticed that it takes a lot of time to actually set up the playbooks, right? Like doing this first step. And there's a few ways I'm going to be able to improve the speed at which I'm able to create this. One of the ways is by simply inputting an AI example and then having a status over here that basically uses ChatGPT to generate the playbook description for us. Alternatively, we can also just have the email example. That's it. The only thing we need is an email example. And then whenever we use the playbook, we just say copy this copy this email with this new client's details. So grab the key information and just copy it, right? So that's some things that are on my mind. But like we can think about that later. The main thing though is like having a way to deposit new ideas. And so whenever I deposit an idea inside the playbooks, I want to be able to keep track of that so that we don't forget to focus on those playbooks. And so we come back to the playbooks, we keep working on the strategies, keep working on the clay tables until eventually they're active. And so we just want to make this an active thing that we think about on a daily basis. And then we've got sales funnel by the client. And so by the way, this closed is like people who've had meetings, who are interested in the service, because like we also do track like we've got tags, right? And so these tags are like booked, no show, booked, show, booked, no show, just booked. We should actually have something over here, so it shouldn't just be booked, no show. Anyways, so some of the ones that are the ones that are in here are the ones who actually booked, who showed and moved forward with, like, were qualified and like are basically like closed deals essentially, right? And so that's why it's like very low in comparison to like whatever you might be comparing it to. Anyway, so we want to see the sales funnel, right? We just want to see the percentages. Like we just want to get a visual of what the percentages look like. And then we also want to have this section over here that tells us the leads, right? And just the details about those leads, right? So we've got that over here. And I need to spend some time refining how all of this looks visually so that it's just seamless, right? So boom, we've got that. Actually, probably worth refining it on the phone with just one quick thing so that you see like why all of this stuff is so amazing, right? Why all of this stuff makes such a huge difference. So we've got the campaign URL. If we were to just click on this campaign URL, we get redirected to the conversation with the dude, right? Boom, right there. And so it makes it so easy to actually just work through things from one dashboard. The next thing here is analytics. And so these analytics are actually sourced from this section. So we've got 45, 17, 25. If we were to go to the dashboard, we've got 45, 25, 17, right? So same thing, we're sorting them by the positive. So, and we're categorizing it by the client. So all of the campaigns that are inside Smartlead, they're going to be here. Now, the reason why we put them here is one, so that we can easily see the stats across everything. Because currently, if we wanted to see the bounce rates, for example, we would have to hover in this section over here. Actually, we're not even able to see that. Anyways, and so it allows us to visually see, actually not started, in completed, in progress. That's a better idea. So yeah, we can see that here, but we're not able to see it in a table. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is being able to see subsequences in addition to which I'm not actually being able to see. Is it because I'm hiding them? Anyways, subsequences would actually be here as a subtask. Whatever reason, I'm not able to see that. Probably because of the filter. And then finally, sent count by the client. This is actually stored inside a Google Doc, which I'm actually working on at the moment. The structure is not perfect, and I'm still working on figuring out how this is going to work. But basically, we would be able to see the sent count across all of our clients to see if we have any major dips that we need to focus on. So boom, there is the client there is the dashboard, and I hope you found it valuable. If you did, leave a